As you probably know, ShoeOnHead recently made a wonderfully entertaining video in collaboration with the great SmugAlana, responding to Hasan and his crash outs at ShoeOnHead in the game Pragmata. Well, Hasan has now issued a response of sorts about that, downplaying his crash outs, which is not surprising at all, but also showing a clip where he was at a convention, a web summit, and was confronted by someone claiming to be an Asmongold fan. We'll take a look at the full clip and the confrontation. Full clip's about 6 minutes long, but first I want to get to Shoe's response, which is very brief, but to get the full context into what she's specifically responding to, we'll read a part of the transcript. We'll read this transcript, which is a transcript of a part of the clip. That was kind of oddly difficult to explain, but here we go. And so then what I'm getting at is after we read this together and read Shoe's response, then we'll watch the clip. Okay. So, says this. This is from Hasan. Behind closed doors, they're like, oh, I got him. One of them came up to me at the web summit. He was like, I'm an Asmongold fan. I'm going to troll you in real life. What's your beef with ShoeOnHead? And I was like, okay, do you want a photo, lol? In the real world, where we can be in each other's physical spaces, situation doesn't unfold in the way you envisioned it. One of the funnier aspects, this beef is almost always one-sided. And there will be like maybe a 20-second mention on my half where I'm like, dude, really? You're going to bring up ShoeOnHead? Who cares? Now that I've said that, she'll do like an hour-long video on it being like, he was so unbelievably owned. And then all of these people are like, yes, holy smokes, reading this transcript is painful. Hasan, man, why does he talk like this? It's hard to understand what he's getting at, except, excuses. Who's the one crashing out, he says, the person who did a 20-second mention or the person who did an hour-long video off of that 20-second mention? This is a one-sided beef. So this is where Shoe's pointing out in a second, as you'll see, that he's misrepresenting the stuff, of course. I've never really been someone who's kept up with her, whatever her politics are. But even I freaking know she changes her attitude with whichever way the algorithm swings. They can take a crumb. If they can make a quick $1,000 video, good for you. We got bigger fish to fry. Dude, insane, Cope. What's more annoying to me is people. This insanely stupid bottom of the barrel commentary think that they're actually feeding their minds with new information. They are deluding themselves into a world that does not exist. What is he even talking about here? I don't even understand, like I said, like what his actual point is on that. But here's Shoe's response. Spends 3 minutes out of a 30-minute video responding to his awful Pragmata take. This is referring to Shoe's original video on the Pragmata discourse. Hasan then chimps out, embarrasses himself. The whole internet witnesses Hasan's meltdown. Shoe then laughs at it with a friend, referring to her more recent video with SmugAlana. And then Hasan's like, she is the one that's crashing out. She crashed out. And Shoe ends with this picture that says, 555, come on now. All right, so that takes us to the clip as mentioned, when a person claiming to be an Asmongold fan comes up to Hasan at this convention, tries to troll him, tries to confront him. And right before that, we actually get more cope from Hasan and more cope from his viewer regarding the ShoeOnHead stuff.
I noticed your 20-second mentions of some YouTubers turn into 1-hour videos responding to your crash outs. Yeah, they always do that.
Yeah, so that's the cope, like I said. They're really going to try and act like Hasan only talked about this stuff for like 20 seconds, them being his viewer here and Hasan himself. Like, bro, you ranted about the ShoeOnHead stuff for a lot longer than 20 seconds. But now on to the confrontation. As mentioned, this person comes up to Hasan at this convention, claims to be an Asmongold fan, and says he's trying to troll Hasan. But like, this is so parasocial and cringe.
Yeah. Different accent in person. I'm like the biggest Asmon fan. I'm here to reach you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
You want to take a photo?
I'll take a photo.
Okay.
What's with the beef with Shoe0nhead?
I don't know. Is there a beef with ShoeOnHead?
Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with her work, but hey, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good one. Thank you so much.
So what the frig, dude? Hasan is coping, first of all. Hasan is coping by being like, oh, there's no beef, after he's crashed out multiple times at her. But this other dude is so parasocial. Like, what are you doing, man? Why even bother going up and like trying to find this guy in real life and all that? That's just basically a case of like, you're doing too much. It's one thing to criticize the guy on the internet, whole different thing to like track him down in real life and then be like, oh, I'm here to rage bait you, and then completely fail at that too. It's interesting because I did see some people saying that Hasan actually did get rage baited in that clip. Like, he was mad. I just don't see it. I don't think he was mad. It was a little bit awkward, and yeah, he dodged the ShoeOnHead part, but I don't think he got rage baited, at least in my opinion. Now that said, it is funny that he still ends up fumbling this when he gets back home, looks at it on stream right here, because now he does this whole like awkward fake laugh, and it's like, dude, why? What are you doing?
Have a good one. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. You have to run for a flight.
This is exactly what it's like when my fucking haters, in the very unbelievably rare occasion, come up to me IRL. Okay? One of them came up to me at the web summit. He's like, "I'm an Asmongold fan. I'm gonna troll you in real life." And I was like, "Okay, do you want a photo?" Like,
I just think it's funny how, to me, he didn't come off mad in the clip, but now when he's back home, he actually does come off a little bit pressed about this. Like, he's like fumbling it now, like I said. Like the forced fake laugh, popping a Zine before he can even talk about this. I thought that was a joke. People talking about he's always like popping the Zines or whatever. I thought it was just a meme, but I think that's what actually happened here. If I'm wrong about that, my bad. I'm not familiar with Zines at all. I don't know about that stuff, but I think that's what just happened. And then he goes back to coping about the Shoe0nhead stuff.
she's been posting about you and these losers make that your problem. Yeah, that's one of the funnier aspects of this kind of stuff, is that this beef is almost always one-sided. And like, there will be like maybe a 20-second mention on my half where I'm like, dude, really? You're going to bring up Shoe0nhead? What a fucking ridiculous thing to do. We're doing political commentary here. Who gives a shit? And now that I've said that, she'll do like an hour-long video on it being like, he was so owned.
I love how he tries to present political commentary as this like prestigious thing. Like, oh, we're doing political commentary here. Bro, it is just a different form of slop. And like Shoe0nhead said in her own video about this, at least she's self-aware. She's like, bro, I'm a YouTuber, you're a streamer. It ain't that big of a deal. But Hasan doesn't have that same self-awareness. He thinks he's like this freaking, I don't even know how to put it. Like I said, though, he thinks it's like this prestigious thing. He thinks he's like this super important guy. It's weird. It's weird stuff. And then like, he's constantly misrepresenting this as well, obviously, as you can see. Like, oh, like my response was just 20 seconds. No, it wasn't. Shoe0nhead makes like an hour-long video on this, bro. It was like 30 minutes, and a good chunk of that was about KCTron, not even about you entirely. Yeah, the KCTron stuff had to do with Hasan and Pragmata and Shoe, but it was certainly not an hour-long video just about Hasan. So it's weird. Like, if you want to say you're not crashing out about this stuff, why do you have to constantly lie about what's happening? Not a good look. In closing, I do want to mention one more thing about the confrontation clip. 5 months ago, there was another clip of Hasan getting confronted with this person that did like a free Kaya moment on stream. And I did laugh at that one, I have to admit, but that was because the old dude that was with Hasan had no idea that Hasan was getting insulted, and he thought it was a compliment, and he was like praising the stream sniper in front of Hasan while Hasan like awkwardly went along with it, not explaining that he actually just got trolled. So that was all pretty funny, but despite me laughing at that, I still stand by what I said earlier. I'm not a fan of like, I'm going to confront people from the internet that I dislike, and I'm going to confront them in real life. It's just too parasocial in my opinion. But yeah, I'll leave it there. That's enough Hasan for me today. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.